I walked into a restaurant once and asked the owner point blank if she, if she wanted to sit down with me because I would love to do some development and marketing for her restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman said back to me, "No, we make tons of money here. We don't need any more sales. We're good." And then found out 3 months later they had to borrow like $20,000 for someone to pay the rent. Then they had their bankruptcy. And to me, the thing that irks me the most, not that I could have definitely saved them or anything.
No, I get it.
Me is that she didn't even just say, "You know what, let me just hear what you have to say." For all her and I know, I could have given her the connection or the idea that saved her whole entire restaurant. I just think that it's so crazy that she was more into her salad she was eting and not getting help than just listening to me for 20 minutes.
That's human beings for you in a nutshell right there.
I just couldn't believe that. I thought that was nuts.
Yeah, I can still not believe the amount of times I've had an experience like that. At least 1,000. At least 1,000.
Yeah, that's
every single time. My mind is blown. Like I never get used to it ever.
Yeah, because you're like, why don't you just ask someone for help? Like, yeah.
Well, again, there's something about the way the situation occurs for them that if they do ask for help, it would only be within their box of awareness. It's why people do Tony Robbins but not Landmark, because Tony Robbins, even though he has an inferior product, has a product that's in the box of the cultural awareness. People
exactly what you're saying. If it's not in their comfort zone already, they don't want to. So Tony
Robbins. No. It's not in their box of awareness. You can do something that's uncomfortable, but you still see it possible.
Yeah.
See, if I say, "Hey, I want you to do this Tony Robbins thing," and I'm not actually bashing Tony Robbins. I know it sounds like that. I love it. Hold on, I actually have one of his books right here. So it's like,
I just read Unshakable. I love it.
He's a great author. He has a lot of great stuff, but he's not doing transformation. But what he's doing is sort of this combination of like motivation with neurolinguistic programming, and there's a bunch of stuff there, which is fine. It's just that's what it is. But for someone who's like, "Oh no, I would never do like an ontological program," a lot of them, they actually would do Tony Robbins, and they don't go into it thinking it's going to be comfortable. Actually, I think most people go into a Tony Robbins thing thinking it's actually going to be uncomfortable. But the thing is, they can understand pumping yourself up and getting into a peak state, and it's more painful to have loss than there is to get pleasure. So like you can kind of understand some of those principles, and you can read one of his books and it kind of makes sense. Where if I start talking about, well, actually your access to effective behavioral shifts is altered in the way that a situation occurs for you. All right, I'd just rather pump myself into a peak state. Like that sounds weird to someone that you're talking about the occurring world and how reality occurs. It just sounds like bullshit to people that have no even awareness like that. And so what I would say is true with most human beings, if something is outside their box of awareness, they come at it like it doesn't exist, or it's just not in their right. It's not in their realm. So what you were doing with that woman, even though you were saying all the shit and you saw the opportunity in her world, it was like what you're offering doesn't even exist in her world. So she can't